Hi, my name is Teresa Kovlek, and today I am going to be showing you how I made this beautiful ornament. So the first thing you need is an ornament. This one that I'm using is ceramic, and I picked this up at Factory Direct Craft. And what's great about this company is they do ship worldwide. So we have our ornament, and then our colors that we're going to be using are the Limeade, Crimson, and Stream. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is put down some of the blending solution. The inks and the solution are both made by Ranger. And I just put down a good little bit. And I'm going to take my glove and actually just kind of give it a little rub across the whole ornament. I'll give a few splashes. And they don't need to be in any particular place. And the red is for our Cardinal, so we'll set that aside. I'm just going to give this a little tip. And we're going to come in with our fan brush. And we're just kind of move the inks around. And I just get it to a spot that I kind of like. And I'm going to give it a little more tip. Let it drain off a little. And take and pull it over just a little bit so I have the sky. And I don't really like to use a dryer to dry this down. It does dry it a little bit different. I actually like to let it dry on its own and tip it a little bit more. And I'm just going to blow on it and help it dry down a little. And now I'm going to go ahead and figure out my horizon line about in here and make it a little snowy. And all I'm doing is putting a little alcohol on my brush and pulling out a little bit of that color to give it our snow. And then we're going to take a Q-tip, and I just take the Q-tip where I peel the end off. So it's not all the way off. You can see I have quite a bit of cotton left. I just take it, dip it in to my alcohol, and twist it around my finger. And it has a nice tip. You can see there's a little bit of pink on there because that was on my glove. I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to put my birch trees in. And we'll put one in about right here. And we'll put the other about right here. And we'll bring some branches off. You can see it's not quite dry all the way there. The ink spread a little, and that's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to take my little Q-tip, tip it down on my paper towel a little bit. Just to get a little bit of that alcohol off is all I was doing. And I'm just bringing my branches in. Just kind of figure out where you want them. And this tree, I guess, will be a little bit closer since he's a little bit bigger. I'm going to bring him down just a little bit more. And all I'm doing is taking the ink out, and that puts my branches in. And then I'm going to come in with my black. Again, I keep my black in a separate container. This is the Pitch Black by Ranger. And I just kind of work it into the corner on my brush. Now the brushes that I'm using today are Artist Loft, and I've had them for about a week, and so far so good. I'm real happy with them. So I'll let you know how they hold up. So now what I'm doing is I'm just putting in the little black notches that you see on the birch trees or aspen trees if you live in Colorado. And what I like to do is to kind of work my way around the tree. I don't stay in one area. And I am going to put a little heart right about here. I started doing hearts thinking that we could share a little love in the world, so I started doing hearts on my trees. I just had a little fuzzy there, I took that off. And I'm going to turn this around. It's easier for me to do that way, and you find that it actually might be easier for you too. And I just turn it around and keep going with the black on my tree. Again, I like to work kind of all over. So you guys know I'm from Michigan, if you've been on my channel before. Our leaves are all dropping and the colors have already been in full bloom for some time, so the leaves are all falling off the trees. And it reminds me of the snow will be blowing next. And actually we had some the other day, just a little bit. So again, I'm just taking these across. Just pick different areas. You can see I didn't get any here. And just kind of look all over and make sure all the branches have at least a little bit on it. It doesn't necessarily have to have a lot. One of the things that I do find is really helpful on the birch tree is giving the dead branches. So again, I'm going to flip this upside down. I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the branches. And these necessarily aren't dead. They could just have already lost their leaves, and in turn, because they're smaller, they're usually darker. And I just kind of put a few different ones on. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to bring this one over a little bit more because I think that's where we'll put our cardinal. I'm going to add a few more branches though. And get a little splotches there on our tree. And even though you get these branches going off, I really think they help make your trees. Kind of like that. And then another thing with the birch trees is a lot of times you'll see at the bottom they have these twigs that are growing. And we'll just put some of those down there. They can be different shapes and sizes. And if you see spots that you want a little bit of black as you're doing it, go ahead and put that in. And you can see when I'm hoping you can see my little bowl. When I'm washing off my brush, I'm not touching all the way to the bottom. I just dip it in and I'm taking and wiping my brush on the paper towel. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of that snow in. And to put the snow in, all I'm doing is taking a little bit of alcohol on my brush and just rubbing out some of that green ink. And it makes it look like snow. And I'm going to add a little bit more black. So maybe we want one here. And turn this a little bit. And pick up a little bit more black on my brush. And just bring in a few more highlights. Little accents. And I totally missed this branch over here. It's a little bit harder to see because it's lighter there, but that's fine. And that looks better. And we'll just take and put a little bit of grass down below. So on the grass, I like to use my fan brush. And we're going to do it with a little bit of this green from my paint tray. And I like to grab onto it, but tap it off so I don't have too much on there. I'm just picking some areas. Then I'm going to come in and grab a little bit of my black. I didn't worry about cleaning my brush. I just grabbed a little bit of that black. Put a little grass out there too. We can even come in and pick up a little bit of that brown. These are just my paint trays that I take on the go, so they actually have a little mixture of color. There's a little bit of yellows in there. That's fine, I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of looks cool. Wipe off my brush a little. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in a little bit more of that snow. I kind of like that. All right. All right. It's looking pretty good. And let's go ahead and put in our cardinal. So I already have some crimson in the corner here, and just take my alcohol, wake it back up so you can paint with it. And to paint him, we're just going to think of a V. So we're going to make an upside down V. Grab on here, and fill it in. So again, we're just going to grab a little more of that ink and make our V. And now we're just going to bring his tail feathers down. Super simple. Make him a little wider if we want. And in his face area, we're going to just take and put a little bit of black. So I grab onto quite a bit. Make sure it's not too wet. And again, I'm going to do just a V shape. There we go. I like that. Well, I hope this tutorial was helpful to you and maybe taught you some new tricks or a different way of doing things. And if so, give me a thumbs up. And that lets me know that you'd like to see more of my videos. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and thumbs up. That lets me know that you want to see more videos. And that's all I need from you. So pull out those inks and go ahead and get started on your own. So I'm going to put a paper towel. Let me see, where did I put my paper towels? I'm going to put a paper towel under this so you can see it. Move that aside. So here's the one I did today. This is the one I did the other day. This is the company that I was able to get the ornaments. Again, they ship around the world, so that is super great. And I like it. I hope you do too. Now, all your ornaments, all your paintings, doesn't matter if it's these or another one, you need to always put a sealer on. The sealer that I use is the Kamar Varnish, and then I put the UV protector. The reason I do that is you're putting the varnish on your paintings and it helps keep them safe, and you're putting the UV because it will help keep that color so it doesn't fade. So those on all my paintings, I always do that. So again, I hope this video was helpful. Give me a thumbs up and you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for joining me. My name is Teresa Kovlek, and happy painting.